to talk to him.
Yeah. It's great to talk to you.
Is it okay if I record some comments? Thank you. So, Joe, I'm curious. Can I ask you about your involvement with concussions and your advocacy work there?
I've signed up to the case. I have an individual concussion case myself that has become a part of the law firm with other players. So they're dealing with past history of the game of hockey and our personal injuries to players that have suffered concussions in this action. As it's progressed, today's game of hockey, I think, is excellent. The concussion protocol, and you're always looking to improve things. It was doing great for the game. The safety, the helmets, the players. I mean, you really don't see a lot of concussions anymore. And the point about it's a very serious matter, concussions. I've suffered a horrific, serious concussion that debilitated me for a long time, and it was tough. And so the concussions of yesteryear and then of today's and in between where they've I think it was 1994 or 1996 or 93, one of the three, where they implemented the concussion protocol and the systems there that's really helped the game. And I think other people have used it as a basis and a foundation for their sporting events and how they're handling. And that'll always be looked to be improved upon. So I enjoy the work that they're doing now in the protection of players, and then they're working on what's happened leading up to where they're at. Concussion started looking at thesis and study of concussions around the 1930s, and as you progress through the decades of concussions, you can get yourself into where 2018. So you can see from the 30 to 2018. That's almost a 90 or 100 years of now information we have, and each decade has different information. So the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, I think you just go through the decades and you can see, and then individual years of what's happened. But I think the big part of the basis of this will be through the 80s, 70s, 80s, and early 90s. To me, individual cases. I don't know where we're at now. Haven't looked in a while, Mike. But they're looking at a class action lawsuit. I don't believe it is. That's what I felt. I said, I don't think this is. I think these are individual cases. Some guys played 1 year, one game, one thing. Some played a bunch of years in a different structuring into their game. And because I know I played, a lot of guys didn't have concussion. I know that. I never suffered a concussion when I was on the team. And so there's some players that do, and there are players that do, obviously. And there's a lot of players that never have suffered, and they'd be thankful they haven't. Because it's available, and it had played a factor in my life, and still does in some of my issues, where I've had, I feel good, but I've also been in positions, Mike, where I haven't felt good. And so I just monitor myself, make sure I'm relaxed and doing good, and I feel great right now.
Nice to hear.
Thanks.
That's good. So ultimately, you're looking at people before the new protocols came in and trying to help them out a bit. Am I understanding that right?
As far as myself, that's the game, the NHL and the NHL Players Association that did a percussion protocol, working hand in hand. Because that's what we want to do, is two, as groups together for the game itself as one. The NHL, the National Hockey League Shield, and then down in here in the NHL and the NHL Players Association. Well, you're a part of the same top organizational chart to the shield of players. Past and former, current players. Past, former, current players. And then today's game and the future of the game. So they've worked together with good studies. It looks like I was reading and I said, the guys are really working hard together, because you are together. So the NHL and then the NHL Players Association go together, it becomes the NHL Shield. So you're all part of that family, NHL family in the NHL. And the games never look better. I think it's awesome. The speed, the finesse, and the skating, and the players look great. And they're really, the game's really gotten a lot better skaters and a lot better skills on guys throughout the lineup, from line one to line four, from the first to the sixth defenseman to the goalies, and so it's good. And concussions have reduced dramatically, and then this the steps taken to ensure after concussion has taken place has increased the safety of the players and all the players if they suffer one. So, and it'll always be looked to be improved on. And then the helmet innovation and design, research and development, which is taken those helmets and made the better helmets, safety helmets. I think it's awesome. I had a Jova helmet that helped me a lot, CCM, and different helmets, a Krabauer, and so as the game gone on, it just got completely better, no question.
I'm just wondering, what would you hope to accomplish if you won this legal action?
Well, what I hope to accomplish, I've left the accomplishment, and what they're trying to accomplish is they're looking for each individual cases, whether it goes clash or not, I don't know. What I look to is just ensuring that we're taking that something's been taken care of. So there'll be a monetary value, obviously, on what's going to be happening, and it's just going to be doctors or something. But I think that's what the end will be resulted if it happens, and I believe there's a good opportunity for the teams, for the players, their lawyers, and the NHL to get to work together, and I think you go in hand and reduce this. Again, it's individual cases. I just don't see it as a class action lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way, because that's all of the play. Not on our team, I had 20 guys. Did 4 have concussions? Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Or 5, so 5 maybe out of the whole 20. That's 25%. That to me isn't a class action lawsuit.
Okay.
It's an individual case thing. I think it's a great opportunity that if it does run to it, well, the players that didn't suffer concussions, should they reap the rewards of it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree. I don't think so. And some players that suffered really bad, and some have gone to whether it was a concussion or not, committed suicide from their brain injuries. They've had some really difficult times, and that's something we don't want to see.
Right.
So those, with them coming together and coming together with this, I think you'll see this thing settling. And but what I like about it, it's not part of our game today, and it's not talked about on TV. You know, if they do, if it happens. But when I turn on and I watch the game, there's no talk of it. It's just that concussion thing was all this era. There's future concussions happen, but there's all these mechanisms to control it, protect it, and continue to make the game better.
Do you mind if I ask you? I don't need you to go into graphic detail necessarily, but you know how a concussion has impacted your life.
I've had a couple of concussions, a real bad one. I fractured my skull, and it was a tough concussion. It impacted me when I was playing, just how I was after the concussion, and then it was tough, debilitating energy loss, and I found it energy loss, and then after I was getting hit, fireflies all the time around me, it was just everywhere. It's like holy frick, and I even in the end of my career, when I was hitting guys, I'd hit and boom, and those, I don't know if you listen, but those sparkly things all over, and then I'd be like, holy, it was difficult, very difficult for me. And then as I moved along, I had after the game was over, I had a little bit of an alcohol problem. I could, for 2 years there, I wasn't doing well, and that was affecting me, and it's going to affect me mentally, and it did, so it kind of just broke me down a little bit. And so when I went from there to here, where I'm at now today, 2018, sometimes I get tired or a little lethargic, and sometimes I'm a little bit depressed, or I can have have a little bit of depression about things, and but I think they're probably intertwined. And where's my brain at today? I mean, have you ever seen a banana? And then you see how the banana's gets as it goes along, and it's outside of it's off the tree limb, and the bruising, and then I think I've got bruising, definite bruising. Now, is it half the brain dead and bruised and gone? No, where you throw it out. No, I've got to keep. Obviously we're keeping the circuits of those cords, but it is definitely bruising, and it slowly affects and winds things down. I feel good health-wise right now. I feel pretty good. I have aches and pains everywhere, but I went and prayed about my injuries and to be able to live in pain, and I'm thankful through my prayers and through my faith that I can stay healthy, and I'm enjoying life. And geez, home now is Kenora, and I'm very proud.
So if this legal action was settled, how would that help you personally in your own life, do you think?
It would. The legal action would help. I think it would help. It would help financially. I truly do. I think there'll be some type of monetary payment and a financial payment in this some forms, and medically as well. Get in some checkups, and get yourself, because when you do have concussions, you suffer jaw, bone, whole facial. The head itself is the heaviest component of your body. Most of it in the brain, and then your structural of your bones and stuff. And so I've had some jaw issues. Busted my jaw one time, nose, and so the whole face is something. Whenever you see a player get cut in the face, that's a trauma thing, because the brain, the skull, the brain, inside the brain tissue, the tissue itself, when you get hit something, that tissue moves.
Yeah.
And boom. And then when that hits and moves, then there's swelling water coming. Now, my thing about the concussion, if it's a heavy concussion, is that the water and swelling, if you can get something up into the brain to drain that water out and cool it, like, I was thinking about how I could do this. Like, also, like, it was a joke, but take not a joke, but I was talking about a DeWalt screwdriver. Drill into the side of his head and just a small, and let the water drain out, but also blow in the cold to freeze it real quick. Now, I think you can do it nasally and through the nasal cavity up into the where you're up into the lobes of the brain tissue, and then drain and then freeze. Like, make it like this. And I really believe you could do this, because the innovation, the design, and the doctors doing their work could be awesome. And I think it's an interesting thing, a debilitating thing, but I'm glad the games does, like, it's part of it. When it came out, it was just I don't want this being on about that game of hockey, right? Just happened, and now it's look at the game going. They were saying there was a play happened with James Neal in the playoffs. He got hit. He went off. So I think it's nobody's fault, but there's a situation where the player came out back and played. Some people said he should have went there. Some people said he made the call to stay when it's not his call. So this is something to look at the mechanisms and how he put back in place. He came off the ice. Trainer came down. Okay, the referee, I think it's referee, linesman, those four, right? They come together, make their thing. They call the trainer, the doctor. So you can do a quick thing. It's got to go doctor, trainer, and then doctor, trainer, player, referees here. So, and then the decision. Referees, all they came together, boom, decision to the bench. You got to get rest. Now it's to the doctor, trainer. Referee comes here, so you're blocking him, and now they make a decision. Hey, do you think so? Him, the three of them, trainer, doctor, player in the middle, and on the ice, these four. And then four becomes one, and then they say he stays or he can come, or dressing him and protocol. And that, because there was something going on there, but it wasn't a big deal. Like, it was a big deal, because the player could be very seriously hurt. It was a huge deal. The decision was made that he could stay. And he stayed, and the game went on, and there was no mistakes. I don't think there was any mistakes in it. It's just they felt that the player waved the trainer off. The trainer could say, okay, go and get him. Say, yep, thanks, and went and played. But, yeah.
I know a lot of old-time hockey fans that would love to reach out to you, and is that okay? Or
Sure.
Yeah. Do you have a contact or anything that people can reach you at? Or?
I don't right now. I've de-escalated and lost everything.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel better now.
Okay.
When you have a lot,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't have a lot, it's easier. But I haven't had radio or phone or not phone for a while. And as far as the computer, I'm the computer. I'm on the computer social. I don't have a mailing address right now.
Okay.
So the computer itself, I want to get back on a web. I'm back on a web, back on a Gmail or a Hotmail.
Yeah.
And because I haven't been in years and years.
Yeah.
I just haven't been using it, but I go on the internet to use stuff, but on the library.
Okay.
So cell phone, I don't have a contact number.
Okay.
So if you need to contact me, just on the street.
Okay.
In Kenora.
Yeah.
my address is Kenora. My home is Kenora.
Main Street, Kenora.
Yeah, and I own all real estate all over Kenora. the lands and the water views I have are beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy it. And it's a lot of fun. And Kenora is beautiful. So I'm going to look to maybe to move. I might keep this as a summer 3-month residence, and then continue to move throughout the land.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to get down south.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a nice place.
Is it okay if I get a picture? Is that too much to ask?
Sure, Mike. Yeah, of course, I'd love that.
And,
You're a big guy, Mike. Did you play yourself?
just house league, and I was more of a rugby player.